have Chewbacca socks on. So
nice.
It looks like I have really hairy feet.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
You look good.
Thank you.
So I've been watching Boy Meets World.
Yeah.
For like 4 days straight now.
Just nothing but Boy Meets World.
Every time I'm doing nothing and I'm like, I'm gonna watch TV, I put on Boy Meets World.
So that's just all the time.
All the time. For the past like.
How many seasons are there?
Like 10.
Oh, okay.
You really watch this boy meet the world.
Yeah, okay.
It's very good.
What's his name?
Corey.
So he's like, "Hi world, I'm Corey."
Yeah.
Okay. Does the world meet him back?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Do you like it?
It's great. It's a great show. I've watched it. I used to watch it whenever it was on like cable. You remember cable? Cable television.
Yeah, he's the guy from the Deadpool movie.
No.
No.
No, that's his brother. Fred Savage. Yeah, his brother Ben Savage is Corey in Boy Meets World.
Oh, it actually is?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just making a joke about cable. The TV program.
No. Okay, never mind. You know, they made
It's Fred Savage.
Okay, not who plays Cable.
Oh.
They made a Deadpool like Christmas version of Deadpool 2
Okay.
where Fred Savage is in it.
Okay. You like? I didn't know Fred Savage was in Boy Meets World.
He's not.
Oh.
His brother Ben Savage is in it.
Okay, I'm there. I got it.
Oh, it's gonna be a long day today.
It's gonna be one of those episodes.
You know, I realized something.
What?
I realized the problem with modern TV sitcoms.
Mm-hmm.
There's no like lesson that you learn at the end of them. You know, like Boy Meets World, the character Corey learns a life lesson. You know, there's no like good morals anymore in modern TV shows.
No?
I mean, there is, but not as good.
I guess. Like, what kind of morals? Like, don't steal. Like,
Yeah. I mean, it's stuff for, like, you know, young people to learn. But I don't know. Shows like Full House and, like...
I mean, have you watched a lot of modern sitcoms that are made for younger people?
I mean, you know, they made Girl Meets World, where it's Corey... Spoiler for the show that's been out for, like, 30 years. Corey grows up and has a daughter.
Okay.
And it's her show now. It's just not as good. But
is he still in it? Is it
he
the
is
same
in
actor?
it. Same actor.
Not Fred Savage?
Not Fred Savage.
Yeah.
Same actors from the old show. Like, they come in every now and again. Which is cool. But I don't know. It's also on, like, Disney.
Is Fred Savage the kid that's in The Princess Bride?
I don't even remember. He might be. Huh. So Fred Savage is not in any of these books.
What? Then why are we reading them? Let's get something else off the shelf.
Yeah. I wonder if I have like old DVDs of Boy Meets World. I probably do somewhere.
It is him.
Really?
Didn't he like look really young for a long time?
Oh yeah, he still looks pretty young.
Well, welcome to the Off the Shelf podcast. My name is Josh.
I'm Vinny.
We're talking about
Superman Birthright. That whole Boy Meets World talk about like morals and everything.
Yeah.
It's very important because Superman's all about morals.
Yeah.
Morals and like being a good person. Superman's been around for like...
Who is Superman to define what it means to be a good person?
Well...
Because he's got laser eyes? Yeah, okay.
Because... That's a great question.
He's just smart.
He's smart, he's wise, and he's just like... He's a little farm boy who has no reason to be like an asshole. Sure. You know, like he grew up as like, I don't know, the ideal, like the American dream. He's all about the American dream. Truth, justice, and the American way. That was his old slogan.
Really?
Yes.
Huh. So he's very American, but doesn't he live in Metropolis or something?
He lives...
Metro City?
Metropolis is in America.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
It's like a made-up town, though.
It's the city.
It's a made-up city.
Yeah, in America.
Okay. Fine.
So Superman originally grew up in Kansas.
Okay.
Smallville.
Wait. Okay, is Smallville a real place in Kansas?
Probably not, but...
So, is Metro City?
Metropolis, I have no idea. Metro City? I have no idea where Metropolis...
Is that the city for Megamind?
You know, the villain in this book is Lex Luthor, so another bald.
Yeah, I mean, they basically copied Megamind.
Yeah, Megamind's been around for centuries.
I wish Lex Luthor was blue.
I don't. There was a time where Superman was blue.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he got electricity powers. Electricity
okay.
powers.
So he's like Dr. Manhattan for a little while?
Sure, but not bald. His wing's not out, and it's really bad.
Oh.
Again, in
it's
the
like
90s.
Not a good thing?
No.
Okay.
In the 90s. I feel like every time something bad happens, it's in like smack middle of the 90s. So the 90s happened.
Like bad to the characters or bad to the reader?
Both.
Okay.
Nothing was treated well.
Okay.
Like Batman got crippled by Bane, and then Superman died, and then Superman came back to life, and then they made him Electricity.
That's his name?
No, like he's still Superman, but they made him like he's like Electro.
Sure.
But I think like he doesn't have his normal Superman powers.
Is he a bad guy?
No, nothing changes about him except for the way he looks and his power set.
Why?
Hell if I know.
How does that? He gets struck by lightning or something?
I don't know. I didn't read it.
Actually, in the DC universe, that would give you super speed.
And Superman already has super speed.
He does, yeah.
So he's even faster now, probably.
Yeah, he's...
Like, Superman's not fast enough to, like, destroy the timeline.
Does Superman have any form of, like, accelerated perception?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. I mean, like, super mind.
Oh, yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, Superman is incredibly intelligent.
Does he have super humor?
Oh, yeah.
He's funny?
I mean, more like kind of dad humor. I don't know. He's like a total Boy Scout in a way.
I think that's a Seinfeld bit. They're talking about Superman.
They talk about Superman a lot in that show.
They do.
Superman comes up constantly.
Like, he's a super guy. Why wouldn't his humor be affected by the red sun of the earth? Yeah.
Exactly. So Superman Birthright came out in like early 2000s.
Okay.
Written by Mark Waid, who is a great writer. He's done a lot of things. We'll talk about him more in depth eventually. He's actually one of my favorite writers. I feel like everything he does. He did The Flash for a little while. He actually like
is it like a good run of The Flash.
Like the best one.
Okay.
Like everything you care about with The Flash kind of came from him. Like the Speed Force and everything. He made that. He didn't make Flash able to destroy timelines, but he paved the road to it.
Sure.
I guess.
He gave him the means to do so.
Yes.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, that at that time, the Flash was Wally West, not Barry Allen. So the Kid Flash. Okay. Barry dies because of Crisis on Infinite Earths, and Wally's like, I guess I'm the Flash now. I'm next in line.
Did he? I think I've asked you this before.
Yeah.
Did he take the Flash's costume, or did he keep the one with his hair out?
He took the Flash's costume. I think he eventually made his own version of the Flash suit, which was more like red, like a more burgundy type red.
Sure.
And usually you could see like the Flash's pupils through the mask, but he had like white eye lenses. So big change.
Why he wanted to be like scarier?
I guess. I don't know. He wanted to really strike fear.
Yeah.
If destroying the timeline wasn't scary enough, he wants to jump out of the shadows.
Is he as fast as the Flash?
No.
Or like Barry?
I think he'll eventually be.
Okay.
But at first, no.
So it's just a way to like bring the Flash back to a more manageable
Kinda,
point.
Yeah.
It's like you can't go forward much past destroying the time line.
Yeah. And in a few years, he will obliterate the timeline.
Oh, okay.
And then reset it and then cause a whole new continuity and reboot. So Superman.
Yes.
Superman Birthright by Mark Waid and Lionel Francis Yu. Now, Lionel Yu is a good artist.
Okay.
I never really loved his work. I thought it was good, but I don't know. In this book, it's very different for Superman. Okay. It's almost kind of like not a darker Superman story, but the art definitely gives you a feel of maybe more modern. You know,
he looks more real.
Yeah,
like they gave him details in his face.
Yeah, So this book starts like every classic Superman book.
Okay.
It's on Krypton. Krypton is dying, exploding, and you see his parents, and his parents are about to put little baby Kal-El, who is Superman,
right,
in the spaceship. And his mom and dad are like, I hope this works. Like, they don't know if it's gonna work. And I don't think they plan to send him to Earth. They just send him to like the nearest inhabitable like planet.
Sure.
And it's very sad. You know, Mark Waid does a great job making you care about these characters who are around very little.
So,
and the art definitely makes Krypton look unique and cool.
It's very futuristic.
It is futuristic,
flying cars and whatnot.
And his dad is wearing like the Superman symbol and like the colors and everything.
Because it means
that's their family
peace
crest
or something.
That's just their family crest.
Oh, okay.
But I think it does mean hope.
Hope. Sure.
In Kryptonian.
Looks like an S for super.
Yeah, and the whole thing with Superman is there's hope. Like, he's a hopeful character.
Yeah.
You know, he'll do anything he can to find the best way to do anything. So they send him to Earth. And, of course...
So, I have a question.
Yeah.
Can these Kryptonians breathe in space?
No.
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 So Superman can't just fly into space?
Well, he can because of the yellow sun. So Krypton has a red sun, which makes them like Earthlings. So they're not... On Krypton, they're not powerful. They're just people. Because of the red sun. So, like, when Kal-El lands in Kansas and with enough, like, absorption from the yellow sun over a long period of time, he gets his abilities.
What's the difference, like, structurally between the red sun and the yellow sun?
I have absolutely no idea. So I'm wondering if, like, a human went up to Krypton, would humans have...
Would they get worse? Because it's already subduing, like, these super beings.
Yeah.
So would it...
We'd be like
die?
piles of mush. Yeah. I don't know.
You regress into, like, an amoeba.
Yeah. Like a germ.
Yeah.
So, something interesting about, like, usually every Superman origin starts with him landing in Kansas, and you see Jonathan and Martha, Kent, find the spaceship and the baby and take him home.
Okay.
Here, there's...
Sorry, is Martha the same name as Batman's parents?
Yes.
It's Martha Wayne?
And Kent.
What? They couldn't come up with another mother name?
Martha's the only mom name.
Okay.
That's all they came up with in 1938 and 41.
Sure. They have the same mom.
Oh, God. You know, there's a book called Superman Speeding Bullets, where it's an Elseworld book, so it's out of continuity.
Yeah.
And Kal-El lands in Gotham City. And Thomas and Martha find him, and they name him Bruce. So Superman is Bruce Wayne. And then his parents die, and when, like, his parents get shot...
But wouldn't he be a Superboy?
Well, he was 8 years old, and his powers didn't manifest.
Okay.
So his parents get shot, and then immediately his laser eyes shoot at the guy, and he burns the guy to death.
So does he become Batman?
He does. But he
Super
could fly
Batman?
around and stuff. And then Lex Luthor becomes the Joker. It's weird.
That's kind of cool, though.
It is cool.
So
I
Bruce
wish
just doesn't exist.
No, they just never have another son. I don't have that book, but I really want it. I'll try to find it so we can get it. It's cool. Yeah, Lex Luthor. Like, back then, Lex Luthor was kind of chubby. Like, he was a chubby guy who becomes the Joker. It's so weird. So you get this transition from the spaceship, like, crashing into Earth, and then you see this, like, bullet firing, right? And you find out you see Clark, and he's like late teens. I think he's out of high school, and he's been traveling the world, and currently he's in West Africa.
Okay.
And he's a journalist, but not for the Daily Planet yet.
Why? He's just for some...
Well, he likes journalism.
Means he's, like, got a blog or something?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
He likes journalism and, like, reporting and helping people. Yeah.
Sure.
And so he's been in Africa, like, you know, helping people, learning their culture and everything. And learning, like, how, you know, it's not great there.
Why? They're just poor.
Yeah, there's poor, not a lot of food, water.
Yeah.
So you get to see Superman, like, seeing these people who he wants to help, but he can't, like, you know, he can't super grow food or super do anything.
Yeah.
And one of the guys is like, listen, man, this world is scary, you know, so people need something to look up to. And it's something that Superman will carry throughout the book. The more, like, you really see, like, Clark grow as a person, and eventually, like, some soldiers will storm in and they'll kill, like, Clark and one of the guys in Africa were just at, like, a club or something.
Yeah.
And the guy he was talking to was, like, pretty hated.
Why? What did he do?
He was, like, just a bad guy. Like,
Okay.
he could kill people and, you know, whatever. And he gets killed, and Clark is like, that guy wasn't a good guy. But no one deserves to be, like, shot. You know, like...
Sure, yeah.
Like, what happened to the guy was completely... Something Clark could have stopped. And he tried, but, you know, he failed. Because he's not Superman.
Oh, he's not?
He's not.
Okay.
He hasn't
but
put
he
on
has
the
powers.
He has the powers.
But he hasn't, like...
He doesn't
know the limits of his power.
No.
He just knows that he's bulletproof.
He knows he's bulletproof. He knows he can fly. You see him, like, flying. Okay. There's a lot of, like, just one page splash pages in this where it's just, like, you see Superman do just cool stuff. Like, he's flying here with zebras.
Yeah.
And, you know, he's playing with the lions and everything. If you were, like, indestructible.
Right,
you know,
yeah,
he's just, like, playing with lions,
lions,
listening to music. It's a very, like, real, like, relatable Clark.
Sure. Yeah.
You know, relatable, like, fighting lions. But, like, you know, he's listening to music, doing journal work.
Yeah.
He also doesn't know, like, anything about his heritage. He doesn't know anything about Krypton. He obviously knows he's an alien. He knows that he was sent down here for some reason, but he doesn't know why. He doesn't know that Krypton exploded.
Was he still raised on a farm?
Yeah.
Or... Okay.
Yeah, so he was still raised by John and Martha Kent.
Okay.
And...
Right, you said that.
Yeah. Eventually... he will return back home. Yeah. Like, the art in this book is really cool.
Yeah.
Because you just... You know, you're seeing Superman do things that you see him do all the time, but just in, like, a different way. Like, this image of him right here with the, like, fire all over him, and he's just, like, angry. Really great. This is also, like, a callback to the first issue of Superman, where Superman is holding a car like. But eventually Superman will go back to his farm. You meet his parents.
Yeah. I have a quick question about Superman as a character. Do his muscles grow because of the sun, or does he exercise? Does he, like, super exercise? Like, he's strong so he can lift more.
I don't think I've ever seen him actually exercise.
Huh.
That must just be from the sun.
Okay.
Yeah.
So if he sat around all day and did nothing and he just, like, had a terrible diet,
he'd probably still be jacked. Probably not.
What?
I don't know.
Like Fat Thor?
No. I don't think so.
Okay.
But maybe. I really don't know. So you get to meet his parents.
Sure.
And John is his dad, who's just like a farm man.
Yeah.
You know, living the American dream.
Exactly.
Classic. Tending to the farm. And his mom...
Has he got any cows?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He has all the cows.
He's got animals. He's got plants.
He's got the best cows in Smallville.
Really?
Probably. I don't know. So, and then you meet Martha. And I love this version of Martha. Because usually she's just like the mom.
Yeah.
You know, loving and supportive. But here... So her son's an alien. So she's like all in on alien stuff. So you meet her and she's like at the computer looking up like UFO stuff. She watches like the X-Files and like she loves all alien things.
Sure. That's kind of fun.
I like that little character that they include with Martha. Oh yeah, Superman's wearing an I Believe alien t-shirt.
That is cool.
I
mean, there are aliens.
Yeah, clearly.
So,
I mean, he's one of them.
She's like got proof of aliens. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So she has no doubt. Like all these people that are like aliens don't exist. She's like on the chat room.
Yeah,
like
she's
2000.
Like, actually, my son is an alien.
Yeah, she doesn't say that because they're very like they want him to help.
Yeah,
but they don't want the world to know that it's him. You know, like
that. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because they don't want like the government to stroll up and like take him away.
Would they, like the Men in Black would come in?
Oh,
and
definitely.
Erase their memories of him.
Probably, probably just like that. So you see, like they keep his spaceship in the barn, and he does have his dad's like the Superman costume.
Yeah,
like it's not like a full costume. It's more like a blanket.
Is that what he was like swaddled in?
Yes.
Okay.
So in the spaceship, they give him like the blanket, which has the family crest. And the blanket will actually be the cape because the blanket is red.
Okay.
And in the ship, they do give him like little. They give him a little history class in the ship. So when he's like flying through space, he can know something about like his people. Yeah, here's a good look at some Kryptonians. Yeah. So Clark is like, he comes back from Africa. He's like, I want to help people. I want to be a superhero. I have these powers. I have a great power. So I also have some great responsibility.
Right. So do you think, what's her name, Martha? Do you think she's, after seeing this history of the Kryptonians, she's going to like go make a Wikipedia page for them and stuff?
This Martha, definitely.
Yeah.
We never see her do that, but if there was a
she's
Martha
in the
spin-off,
chat rooms talking about, actually, there's this universe called the Kryptonians.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So Martha is like, okay, you want to be a superhero? Let's make a costume. Every superhero needs a costume. Also, like
so
right here, Clark is wearing
exist then already.
Yeah, but you don't see or hear of them.
Okay.
I think they mention Gotham or something, but you don't see Batman. Wonder Woman doesn't show up in this.
Yeah, but they exist in this world. So, like, they know that heroes wear costumes.
Yes. Yeah. I do like this little... Clark is just wearing a t-shirt with an S on it, which I guess is like Smallville, because he did go to Smallville High School.
Looks like a 5.
Well, it probably is a 5, but it looks like an S.
Okay.
And
like foreshadow.
Yeah. And his mom does make the Superman costume.
Yeah.
Using the baby blanket and everything.
Is it like a special Kryptonian material?
Yeah.
But like anyone can sew it
I guess.
Together. Is it stronger than most other materials?
You know what? No. Because it will get blown up later.
Oh, okay. Sure.
So maybe it's just cloth.
Okay.
Now, his dad is very, like, against the idea of him being a superhero. Like, he's not against it, but he just
wants him to be safe.
He wants him to be safe. He doesn't want him to, like, go out there and actually... Like, he wants him to fight for what's right, but, I don't know, he doesn't want to lose his son. Yeah. You know? Because there's a lot of danger in being a superhero. Sure. Even if, like, he is the strongest man ever, something out there could kill him. So his dad does actually like go to destroy the spaceship and everything.
How does that stop Superman from being a hero?
Nothing. Like it doesn't.
Okay.
But then Clark grabs him and was like, Dad, what are you doing? Like that's my heritage you're destroying. And his dad is like, you don't know those people. You know, like we're your family. You know, and I don't want anything bad to happen to you. Like, I know you can help people, and I want you to help people. But what happened, like, you become a superhero. What's going to happen to Clark Kent? Yeah. You know, you're going to need to learn how to balance that. So, you get this, like, little montage of Martha making the Superman costume, and his dad and everything, like, dressing him like Clark Kent that you know. Mm-hmm. And they're like, okay, you are the handsomest man ever. You're super jacked and tall. Yeah. Your eyes are like the bluest blue of anyone's eyes. You're going to need to figure out a way to stop all of that.
What? So he doesn't attract attention
exactly.
to himself?
So people are like...
So he's like, wear glasses and dress like a geek?
So, yeah, they like comb his hair differently, give him different clothes. They're like slouch, you know? Because when you slouch...
You look less tall.
And... Later in other books, when he slouches, like in All-Star Superman, like yeah, so he looks chubbier. And the glasses are made of like Kryptonian glass or something from the spaceship, and it dulls the blue of his eyes, so they're more of like a lighter blue and not like a vibrant alien blue.
Like gray.
Yeah. And then he moves to Metropolis, and you meet the classic.
That is interesting. That I wonder if that's because people were like, you know, if someone just put on glasses, I would recognize them.
And you know, it's not like
that a little bit.
Yeah, and like you know, when I take my glasses off, you could tell it's still me.
Right. Yeah.
But I
mean,
if
I saw you without your glasses in a Superman costume, I'd be like, oh, that's
there he is. But you know, it's
but
like
if your eyes were slightly bluer,
you would never know. They also tell him to like talk differently, like stutter and like not be so confident.
He stutters?
A little. Like Clark Kent's kind of a mess. Sure. Like he really plays, like Clark should get an Oscar for the way he acts as Clark and the way he is as Superman.
The yellow sun of Earth affects the way he acts too.
Of course.
Yeah. Super actor.
He is. He is super at everything. So he goes to the Daily Planet, which is like the Daily Bugle, and you meet Jimmy Olsen, who's the young photographer, little redheaded boy right here. And he's like, I think he's like 17 or something. So no one takes him seriously. And he's like, I'm Jim, not Jimmy. And everyone calls him Jimmy.
You meet... Like you. You're like, I'm Vin, not Vinny.
Sure. But he does have one friend there, and that's Lois Lane.
Okay.
And Lois Lane is like the best reporter ever, and they're usually on assignments together. Lois and Jimmy. She's like, or he's her like personal photographer.
Okay.
Kind of. And she's
so
like,
she's a reporter, and she takes the pictures.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's like the best reporter ever, like in the history of reporting. There's also Perry White, who's the editor and chief at the Daily Planet. Here he is. And Clark goes in, meets Lois Lane, and immediately like falls in love. And he goes in for a job interview.
Lois Lane is usually like a redhead, yeah?
No.
That's just in the movie?
That's just in Man of Steel.
Okay.
She's usually just like this.
Oh, okay. I've never seen her in a comic, I don't think.
Really? Here she is.
Maybe I have, and I just didn't register.
Yeah, she just looks like any woman with like black hair.
Sure.
I really like Lois in this book.
Mm-hmm. She have like actual character.
She does. She's very like, she takes no shit. She's a good reporter. Like she does whatever she can to get like the right facts for a story, but she doesn't necessarily get in the way of Superman stuff. Like she doesn't like, she's not the damsel in distress all the time. Yeah. You know, like it does happen once in this book.
But it's not like...
But it's not just because she was there. Well...
It's not because she's incompetent. It's because she happened to be...
Yeah. Like something later will happen where it doesn't matter where she is. Something bad's going to happen. Yeah. Because we'll talk about it in a minute. But Superman goes to... Or Clark goes to Perry White for a job interview. Superman. Yeah. He goes in for the job interview and he's being like clumsy and dropping everything. And
so Clark... Is that what his parents named him, or? Yeah. Okay. It's not just like a name he came up with that's not Kal... They didn't ever call him Kal-El? Do they know?
No, they don't.
Oh, okay.
They don't know.
It doesn't say it anywhere in the spaceship?
I don't think so. Or maybe... I don't think so.
Or maybe when he goes back, maybe his parents tell him in the little hologram, or...
There, you'll find out. They do something very interesting. Okay. So, Superman goes in for the job interview, and... He's like, I've been around the world. I've done like stories on, you know, whatever I could find. And Perry White is like, no, you're not hired. Oh, okay. And Clark is like, what? But then a helicopter shows up and starts shooting up the Daily Planet. Oh, okay. And Superman gets into action. Or no, Jimmy and Lois get into a helicopter because they're going to a story. And then I think they're shot down by like a drone. Or something. Okay. A LexCorp drone that like didn't mean to crash into them or anything, but
it's an accident.
It's an accident.
Okay, got it.
Or so you believe. So like Jimmy falls out of the helicopter.
They're like making stories about Lex Luthor that he doesn't like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So Lex Luthor is like a business mogul. Yeah. Big, rich guy.
Is he a big fat guy in this?
No, he's very slim.
What?
You kind of remind me of Lex Luthor in this, actually, kind of. Man, okay. So
I don't know how to take that.
So Jimmy like falls out of the helicopter. Yeah. And you get this awesome double page of Superman catching both the helicopter and Jimmy.
He's palming that helicopter.
Oh yeah. And this is the first time Superman's made his debut in Metropolis.
Sure.
So of course everyone is like, oh my god, who is this guy? And Lois is trying to interview him, and everyone's trying to like get the scoop on who this guy is. He goes, he defeats the drone, like he just destroys it because it is going like crazy, like it's malfunctioning.
Such a thick neck that his suit doesn't even go up all the way over his shoulders.
Yeah, I mean it's supposed to be like, I don't know. Yeah,
it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I kind of like that though. Later they do like give him like a turtleneck in the New 52, and I don't like that.
I don't think it has to be a turtleneck, but like, at least up to his actual neck. Like it doesn't go over his shoulder muscles. Like they ran out of material.
Yeah. So Superman goes to Lex Luthor and is like, "What the hell? Like you're Lex Luthor."
So he knows it was a Lex Luthor drone.
Yeah, it said like LexCorp on it.
Yeah, okay.
And Lex is like, "Oh, I don't know how that happened, Superman." And he's in the shadows,
Do they call him Superman?
Not yet, but he will. I think Lois might come up with the name Superman.
Sure.
Because he's just a Superman.
He's just a super guy, yeah.
He is. And so, now here's the thing. Clark knows Lex Luthor. And not just because, like, the name Lex Luthor is a big name, He's not just a rich guy, like he is. But Lex Luthor actually grew up in Smallville.
Oh.
And that is like kind of a big change.
Are they like the same age?
Lex is a little older, but only by a few years. So they went to high school together.
Interesting.
And later, Clark and Lois and Jimmy go to LexCorp to interview him. And Clark is like, "Hey, Lex, you remember me from high school?" And Lex is like, "I never went to Smallville. I don't know who you are." And Clark is like, "Why would he do that? Why would he pretend he doesn't know me?"
Was there any time while Superman was in high school that he like slipped up and did something Superman?
Probably all the time.
So you don't think like Lex Luthor would be like, "That's interesting. Like this guy has powers similar to this guy I went to high school
You know,
with."
it's funny. Some things happen like that in this book where they'll flash back. But it's conveniently Clark does something Superman-y and Lex Luthor's like preoccupied.
Okay.
Lex is a very self-absorbed person.
Yeah,
He's very into his work, and even when he was a young kid in Smallville, he was interested in like aliens and knowing. He was like, "I know that there's other life out there." Meanwhile, his best friend was Superman.
They were friends?
They were friends.
Oh, so they didn't just go to the same school.
No.
They actually
Clark was Lex's only friend.
Oh.
But Lex was more like, "You're a tool to help me," like.
So that means more that he said that he didn't know.
Exactly.
Okay. Got it.
Meanwhile, Lex got his hand on some kryptonite.
Ooh. How did that happen?
Because kryptonite just falls. Like, if Clark or if Kal-El landed in, Kansas a million years or like a few years ago, then no doubt some other remains of the planet would also land on Earth.
Sure. In like Utah.
Yeah, or anywhere. Now Lex actually got his hands on kryptonite when he was still in high school with Clark. And he was like, "Oh, this is not, from here."
He was like, "Hey Clark, check out this cool rock I found."
That's literally what happens.
Really?
He's like, "Look at this green rock," and Clark is like, "Ah!" Like Clark is like, "It hurts."
Yeah.
And then Lex is like, "You don't understand science, Clark. Get out of here." And Clark is like, "Ah!" Like he's physically ill.
He's like pounding migraine.
Yeah. Like Clark looks like he's dying, and Lex is like, "You're just like everybody else. You don't believe in me. You don't believe in science. You think I'm weird." And Clark is like, "Lex, I'm sick." And Clark's like, "Get out of here. I hate you." Like, Lex is such
That's funny.
It is funny. And of course, Lex, like, he's just playing it up that he doesn't know Clark.
Like everything I've said as a joke so far has been actually in the book. Yeah. That's cool.
So
he denies that they went to high school together.
He denies that they went to high school together, but he obviously remembers Clark.
Yeah.
He's just like, he's forgotten or just erased all Smallville stuff from his mind. He's like, "I don't want to remember that life." Like, Lex Luthor's real life started in Metropolis.
So he actually doesn't remember? Or
no, he does. He just tries his best.
It. Okay.
Yeah. He's like...
Is that because he was like a loser in high school?
Yeah. Because he was the smartest kid in high school.
Sure.
He was like 16 and already Albert Einstein. Yeah. So everyone was like, "You're weird. We don't want to hang out with you." The teachers were like, "Stop being such a smart-ass, Lex." Like... And Lex wasn't like a good student either. Like, he was smart and got good grades, or he could have gotten good grades, but he was like, "High school is so beneath me."
That he didn't even try.
Yeah. He was like, "I should be like building spaceships and finding aliens and like being a man of science, not a high school student."
Yeah.
He had a huge God complex, which is, just Lex Luthor in general.
That's like his whole character flaw.
Yeah. He is like, "I am better than everybody," and no one. Oh, here are the cows,
and they go, "Ew! Why does it last like 4 panels?" Who's saying that?
It's like a machine.
Oh, okay.
A machine. This is a flashback to Clark and Lex in the barn, and his dad's working on some like machine or something to like, I don't remember what machine it is, but it like Lex breaks it, or Lex goes to touch it and it starts making this noise, and Clark's dad is like,
"Oh, his hair."
Yeah, Lex had orange hair.
Yeah. Okay, so I have a question about Superman.
Yeah.
Is he like super smart?
Oh yeah.
He can like build things.
Sure.
But he doesn't.
I mean, nah.
Because I guess he doesn't need to.
No, but like he could.
Sure.
So here's like a flashback to Clark. John and Martha Kent don't really like Lex.
Okay.
No one really likes Lex.
Yeah.
They're like, "That boy is bad. Like, he's smart, but he doesn't know how to be a person." Yeah. You know, he has no like social skills, no empathy. Yeah. He's just very selfish, self-absorbed. And one night, Clark and him are on like the roof, and they're looking at the stars, and Lex is like, "There is something. Like, I know there's other life out there." And Clark is like, "Yeah, I bet there is, buddy.
Maybe."
In the present, Clark goes back to his family, and he's like, "I met Lex again. But he says he doesn't remember me," and his parents are like, "That's probably for the better. You don't want anything to do with that boy. You know, he was bad news back then, and he's probably even worse news now."
Yeah. Now that he's got some influence and some money.
You get to see some like older Superman characters like Lana Lang, who is Superman's old high school like sweetheart in the old comics, and here she's like a bitch cheerleader. And Clark is like, "You know, the homecoming dance is coming up. I was wondering if maybe you'd want to go with me." And then her boyfriend shows up and is like, "Come on, Lana, let's go like bang in my truck or something." And Clark is like, "Oh." And Lex is like, "You shouldn't worry about girls. Sex and stuff is not important. Sure. What's important is knowledge." Yeah. And Clark is like, "You virgin?" He doesn't say that. But he's like, "Come on, Lex. There's more to life out there than just like being the best at everything."
I don't know. It's hard for you to understand because you were born the best at everything.
Yeah.
I understand. I like Lex Luthor.
Yeah, Lex is like in this. He's like a very like relatable.
He seems very developed.
He is very developed. Yeah. Like this is equally a super. Like this could have been called Lex Luthor Birthright.
Okay.
Honestly,
I like that. That's
me
cool.
too. And you know,
they're only as good as they're going.
You know, the stories are only as good as the antagonist.
Yeah.
You know, you want
especially a story like Superman where he's basically Jesus.
Yeah, he could defeat anything. Yeah. So you need someone who could stop
who you
him.
Can relate to, but also is a villain. I don't know. I was gonna say, does the show Smallville take?
Oh yeah.
Influence from this?
Yeah, the Lex and Superman kind of dynamic.
So Lex Luthor goes to high school with him in that.
Okay, no. But Lex grows up in Smallville.
Okay.
He's a few years older than Clark.
Sure.
And like already graduated.
But they still know each other.
But they still know each other. Their lives are intertwined in that show.
Okay.
And in this, very similar, like Lex's family, I believe, like his dad is rich. Like his family was rich, but his dad doesn't give a shit about him. And I don't know if he has a mom. She might have died. I don't remember. The story of Lex Luthor is more like nature versus nurture. You know, he didn't have people in his life to support him and care about him. So he supports and cares about himself and only himself. You know? So like he was made this way because he didn't have proper like love, you could say.
So like, it's almost a parallel to Superman who was raised with a great family.
And that's exactly how it is in the Smallville show.
I see.
Superman, like, let's just talk about the Smallville show for a second. Okay. Because it's very, like, you know, silly and stuff. The CGI is really bad because it was, like, 2000 or whatever. But the stories they tell with Superman and Clark, beautiful in that show. There's this one episode where there's, like, a hostage situation, and Clark and Lex are there. And Clark is like, "I could stop this." Yeah. But there's people around, they'll see me. And after, you know, the hostages are freed and everything, and Clark's family shows up, and they hug Clark. And no one's there for Lex. Like, his dad didn't, like, whatever. Yeah. And Lex is just, like, you know, like, early 2000s music, Evanescence, baby, is playing. And it's, like, raining, and Lex is just like, "Man, I have no one in my life. So I need to be the only person. I need to be self-sufficient." Here's the scene where Lex shows Clark the kryptonite. And
they're in high school?
They're in high school, yeah. Okay. And Clark is like, "Oh my god!" And
he's like dying.
He's literally dying. And Lex is like, "You don't understand, Clark. You think I'm weird just like everybody else. I thought you were the only person I could, like, confide in. But, like, you're nothing to me. I don't need you. I don't need anybody. All I need is Lex Luthor. Like, one day when Smallville is just nothing." You know, because Smallville's just like this little town. No one's going to remember Smallville, but people are going to remember Lex Luthor. That's what he said. And then the kryptonite blows up the house. Like, because it's, like, radioactive.
Is it?
It is.
Okay. Do you think that has any part of suppressing their power? I mean, obviously it does. But they say it's, like, the red sun of Krypton, right? But maybe it's just all of Krypton that's suppressing his powers.
Definitely. Yeah. Like, it's definitely... And... They do this in the Man of Steel movie, which I do like, how when Superman is, like, exposed to Kryptonian atmosphere, he like freaks out and starts like dying.
Yeah.
Because the atmosphere is very different from Krypton to Earth.
Sure.
So like he's not used to it. He has to like.
It's like
E.T.
No, War of the Worlds.
War of the Worlds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that.
It is. Man of Steel is like just War of the Worlds. To be honest. But because of the house fire, Lex does lose his hair because of it. Like Lex is severely burned. So it loses his hair. His dad also is killed in the fire.
So he loses his hair because of like radiation, not because
like radiation and explosion.
Okay.
And then his dad dies.
Not just because age.
No.
Genetics.
No. It's just.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his dad is also killed, so he really has, and his house is destroyed, so he really has nothing. And I think Clark's even like, that is the last day anyone heard of Lex Luthor in Smallville. And then years later, Clark goes to Metropolis, and
So he didn't know that Lex Luthor went to Metropolis.
I don't think so.
Okay.
He might have.
He just went there, and he happened to.
Yeah.
Be also there.
Sure. Yeah. That's where every Smallvillian gravitates.
Yeah.
They're just like, Metropolis is the next step. So of course in the present, Lex is very, he hasn't changed a bit since he was a teenager.
Yeah.
Very self-absorbed, egotistical, very narcissistic. He's like, if anyone's gonna save Metropolis, it's gonna be me. I'm gonna save it with my money and my brain and my technology. We don't need a Superman. And now there's a Superman here trying to do what I could do better. He's wearing a flashy cape, pretending to be a superhero.
But his goal is ultimately not evil in nature. Like he wants the best for Metropolis, but he just does it in the wrong way.
Well, it's more like he wants the best for himself, to be seen as like the king of Metropolis, and it's just like Metropolis will be better for like because of it, and it's just a coincidence that Metropolis will be okay.
Oh, okay.
So it's like, you could say maybe he does care about Metropolis.
So he cares more that they like worship Superman than they
do him.
Okay.
So it's like Superman's coming in and like derailing Lex Luthor's God complex a little bit. He's like, I am God in my mind. And now there is an actual God.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like him at all. So I'm going to destroy him. Now Lex does a lot of like, sneaky schemes throughout this book. Superman catches on to all of them, and eventually Superman will roll up on Lex Luthor looking like super pissed. And he's
got those glowing eyes.
Yeah.
It's very menacing.
Mm-hmm. Superman looks very menacing in this book, which is very cool.
You ever play Injustice?
Oh, yeah. I just played Injustice too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
We should play Injustice sometime.
Okay.
He looks like the Injustice Superman with the red eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Lex Luthor's trying to frame Superman. Like Lex is like blowing up and killing people, and he's like, Superman did it.
Okay.
Yeah. Like doing anything you can to frame Superman. So now the people are like,
and people just believe him.
Yeah.
Sure.
Because they're like, we don't know anything about Superman.
Yeah.
And Lex is like, he's an alien. And Superman.
Does he know?
He does.
Okay.
So because Lex is so smart and he had, kryptonite, he was able to like figure out using like space, like knowledge of space and star systems and solar systems and everything. And he found the planet Krypton, and using like this whole page is like Lex explaining, he was able to capture random moment, or like he's able to capture like history of Krypton through like quantum space-time magic.
Science magic.
Yeah.
Okay. So he like looked into the piece of Krypton that he had,
and then was able to figure out the whole history of Krypton.
So did he see Superman?
So Superman's like, Lex, what is the matter with you?
Yeah.
And Lex is like, oh, look at you. Like, you don't even know it. Like, you're an alien. Did you know that? Did you know you were an alien? He's like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
He's
I'm
like,
not
okay.
Stupid.
Well, what else do you know? Do you know that you're the last living one of your people? Did you know that?
But that's not true.
Well, at this time it is.
Okay.
There's no Supergirl or Superboy or anything yet.
Or the bad one.
General Zod.
Yeah.
He's not in this.
Okay. At all in this run?
Not in this book, no.
Okay. Is this a standalone book?
This was a standalone. I think at the time it was meant to just be like self-contained in its own,
just
like,
to like refresh people on Superman.
Like I think it was just like Mark Waid wanted to tell a Superman origin, and it wasn't supposed to be in continuity, but then they liked it and they were like, okay, this is the basis for Superman. So all you really get is Superman and Lex Luthor in this, but Lex is the one who tells Superman like the history of Krypton. He's like, I know that your dying like family sent you here because Krypton could not sustain itself. Krypton blew up. You're the last one there is.
How does a planet just blow up?
It was, I don't know.
Is there like some core malfunction in the planet?
It's something like that.
They got too advanced.
Yeah, it was just unable to sustain itself.
Sure.
I don't know. Lex does mention something called the Phantom Zone. And the Phantom Zone is a prison for Kryptonians. So you could say General Zod is in there.
Okay. Is it like it's a space prison somewhere?
It's like a space black hole where they just throw their villains.
Okay.
Yeah, the Kryptonians are kind of fucked up.
It's just out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so...
And Zod can't fly.
He can.
He hasn't been exposed to the
yellow sun. He has to be after he's exposed for a while.
But he wouldn't be able to escape this prison, right? Because he's not like super.
No, the only way you could escape the prison is if it's opened, like if you're let out. So, and I think this is really cool how.
So there's like, sorry,
no, you're
keep
good.
Going back
you're
to
good.
this. So this space prison.
Yeah.
There's like guards.
No.
So who would let them out?
Okay, well there were probably guards on the outside.
Okay.
But then after Krypton died.
But they can like open and close it. It's not just like a black hole.
Yeah, they could open it. Okay. Like it's like a portal gun.
Got it, okay.
Yeah. But since the guards died, the Phantom
They're
Zone...
just stuck there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But Superman does eventually
get like food? No one's
maybe,
there to like feed them?
I mean maybe if there's like food in the Phantom Zone. Like it might be like a place. It could be.
Okay.
I don't know. All I know is that it's a prison and they dump their villains there and that's it.
Okay.
And you know, Lex actually talks about black holes in this and how like you use a black hole, you could see things through like time and space or whatever.
Sure. And is that how he learned about Krypton?
Yes. Yeah, using black holes. And he has like big TVs, like it's Times Square in freaking his little Lex house. And you're seeing like the people of Krypton die on Krypton. Like, and Superman's like, oh my god, like this is my people. I know nothing about the people. Like the villain knows more about me than I know about me.
Yeah.
And because of this, Lex is like, alright, Lex has like soldiers and like people that are on his side because everyone's like, Superman's a bad guy. You know, he's an alien. Lex has turned the city against Superman. So no one trusts him.
So he told the world that Superman's an alien.
Yes.
Okay.
So everyone knows and no one trusts Superman.
Got it.
And then Lex drops like the bomb on Superman that's like, your family's dead, everyone you know is dead, you're the last living Kryptonian. And then like soldiers stroll in and Superman leaves. And then the next day in the paper it's like, Superman attacks Lex Luthor. And everyone's like, Superman sucks. And then...
media control.
Yeah. Because Lex is rich enough to like own the newspaper or something. So then Lex, to frame Superman more, he hires people to dress up as Kryptonians and invade. So it looks like Superman brought like an alien armada to Metropolis to invade. He also, using, I guess, the black hole, grabs into Krypton before like... He grabs this giant monster from Krypton before Krypton explodes. Okay. I don't know. So then there's a giant monster in Krypton.
And it's got his symbol on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's just destroying Metropolis. And everyone's like, Superman brought aliens and monsters here. So Superman has to like, you know, help these people even though they're like, Superman, we hate you.
So this alien monster has his symbol on it? Is it like a part of his clan?
You know, like, it might be a robot.
Would he not have any control over it since he's part of their group?
What?
He's got the same symbol.
Yeah.
So it's like obviously his parents or something made it, right?
Okay.
If it's a robot.
Now that I'm actually looking at it, I think I lied to you.
Okay.
I think Lex makes this thing. Because it looks cybernetic.
Okay, so that makes way more sense.
Yeah, Lex makes this instead of grabbing it from like space before it explodes. He makes it, and then he hires people to be Kryptonians. Okay. So they invade, and everyone's like, Superman's bringing aliens here. So now Superman is like, oh god, the world hates me.
There's this giant shrimp spider robot thing.
Like, everyone hates me, but I have to help them. Yeah. Like, I'm the only one. Like, I know this is Lex, but no one's going to believe me about it. Even though Lois and Jimmy are like, we hate Lex Luthor. Like, they know, like, he's a dick and whatever. So they're on Superman's side, but that's about it. Everyone else in Metropolis is like, Superman, go to hell. Yeah. Like, and take your army with you. So you see, like, Superman does get exposed to, like, kryptonite, and they do shoot, like, the cops and stuff shoot him. So Superman, because he was exposed, he does get shot, and he starts bleeding and stuff. And because he's, like, bleeding and shit, also the city's in, like, rubble at this point, because that giant monster. So it's just, like, a big clusterfuck of a lot of damage and death.
It's, like, the worst thing that could
happen. It is War of the Worlds at the moment.
It kind of is.
And Superman... He has this moment where he's like, I failed. Like, I don't know if I could do this, you know? Like, I want to be a superhero, but this is what my dad told me about. Like, my dad didn't want this to happen. So he takes the Superman costume off and he puts on his Clark Kent gear. Yeah. Just to, like, hide into the crowd. And, you know, he's, like, bleeding and stuff, but, like, so are other people because, like, falling buildings and everything. Right. And Clark goes to the Daily Planet, where everyone's, like, shuffling around and trying to get stories on what's going on. And Clark is like, we should go. Like, the city's being destroyed, and Perry White is like, no, you have a job, you're gonna go with Lois, and you're gonna report on this. And Lois is like...
I thought Perry White didn't want to give him a job.
Oh, he did give him a job.
He did eventually? Yeah, eventually. Okay. After he saved them with the helicopter or whatever?
Yeah. And then so, Lois is like, okay, Clark, we gotta go. And Clark is like, no. I'm not going to report, Lois. And she's like, this is your job. Like, your job is to do this. And it's more like, she's talking to Clark Kent, where it's like, your job is to report. Right. But in the same way, it's like, your job is to be Superman. Yeah. So Superman's like, okay, I need to help people. So he leaves Lois. So she's like, oh, you coward. Meanwhile, he goes to put on the Superman costume. And then one of the guys Lex hired is on the big screen, and he's wearing, like, Kryptonian
I thought he was giant. Okay.
No, he's just on a big screen, and he's like, all of you will bow down to us, Krypton will take over. And everyone's like, oh, God. And they're like, Superman, we sent him years ago to, like, infiltrate your society. They destroy a building, and then they burn the Superman logo into it. You see Clark, and he's like, what?
Did he give them, like, Kryptonian weapons or, like, laser guns or something?
He gave them, like, kryptonite and stuff. But, like, the people don't know that.
Okay.
The kryptonite affects Superman.
Yeah.
And he gave them kryptonite so they could affect Superman. So they burn, like, the Superman logo into a destroyed part of Metropolis. Okay. And Superman's standing in it. And he's having this moment of, like, reflection, and there's no dialogue. It's just like, I need to help people, but I don't know how to do it yet. But this is what I have to do. And I love this image where he's just like, he has the cape draped over one shoulder. Like, he has Superman and Clark Kent.
Yeah. And it's like half and half.
Exactly. And he's looking at both, and he's like, I need to be Superman. And he drops the glasses, and he puts on the suit, and he's like, all right, I'm going to go murder Lex Luthor. He doesn't kill Lex Luthor.
So his suit has shoes to it.
Yeah, they're boots.
Does he wear those boots under his other shoes? Or does he keep them somewhere?
He probably keeps them somewhere.
Where? In his pocket?
He has, like, a bag. Like, he has, like, like a satchel. Okay. For his, like, reporting stuff.
That makes sense.
But it's probably just his costume.
I'm satisfied with that.
Yeah.
Because I know he wears the rest of his costume just under his clothes.
Yeah.
I was like, where did the boots come from?
So
he goes and he fights.
He goes and fights the fake Kryptonians. Lex also built, like, some of them are robots and some of them are actually people. And
I saw, like, a robot Superman.
Yeah. And Superman's, you know, fighting everything, and he rescues Lois. Lois gets in danger, and this is her one damsel in distress moment. And again, like, it's not
the entire city is
exactly. It's not because she was somewhere she shouldn't have been. Everywhere is somewhere you shouldn't be.
Right.
So it's not her fault. And she obviously has some attraction to Superman.
I mean,
because he's the most handsome man in the entire galaxy. And Superman's like, these people don't trust me, but I'm all they have. And Lois is like, I trust you. And Superman's like, hell yeah. So that's an actual line from the book. Yeah. Hell yeah.
He says, I'm super horny.
Yeah. So a bunch of these robots are like, they take hostages of the Kryptonian people, and they start shooting Superman with like kryptonite and stuff. And the big guy, I guess the leader of all this, that Lex Luthor hired in the big Kryptonian gear, he's like, Superman, come stop fighting us. Like, we sent you, like, he's like, we sent you here, wink, wink. And Superman's like, shut up. Like, I am not a bad guy. I am here to help people. Yeah. Also, there's like this big, like, tank or something with like the Superman tank, logo. Yeah. And eventually, like, it's about to fire. And Superman, like, breaks some of the tank, but it's about to shoot like some citizens, and Superman grabs the symbol and uses it as like a giant shield to like save an innocent child. And I love, like, this is another one of just like
pretty epic. Yeah,
there's this end scene, or this like final battle is so epic. When you read it, there's like very little dialogue. It's just like Superman being a superhero. Sure. You know, he's just helping. Like, this little child is like about to be obliterated by this machine, and Superman grabs the symbol of hope as a shield. And of course Lex is like, ah! God damn, you know, like, kill Superman. I don't care. Figure out how to do it. And Jimmy Olsen, who's also a 17-year-old boy, but also very dedicated to his job, I guess. Even though they're paying him like not even minimum wage probably. Yeah.
He's like taking pictures of Superman being a good guy.
Yeah, and he's like, I believe in Superman. Like, the reason he's doing it is because, like, I believe in Superman. I'm going to, like, take photos of Superman helping people because he's the hero. You know, these guys aren't, like, he's not with them. And I do also love how, like, Superman gets blasted in the chest and the crest of his, like, his symbol is torn off. And then Superman's, like, taken down. Like, the big bad guy like shoots him or something, and Superman's like on the floor, and he's like, okay, I'm gonna die. And then all of a sudden you see the citizens of Metropolis and Jimmy Olsen holding the freaking Superman symbol, and they're like, get away from him. Is that
from his costume?
It is from his costume. And they're like, get away from him. Like, he's our hero. And also Lois goes to like Lex and is like, you're a bitch. Lex, you suck. Like, you think you're so big and powerful, but you have a tiny penis. And he's like, she doesn't say that, but he's like, does she probably does. I mean, if I wrote this. Yeah. My Lois Lane would be very different. And then you just see Superman, like, you know, rise up and defeat the rest of the robots. Lex attacks Lois and is like, I'm gonna stab you with the kryptonite.
Or like, you can use anything. She's not allergic to kryptonite.
And he like punches her and shit. Yeah. And Superman defeats the like the fake Kryptonians. I also like, he grabs the torn off part of his costume and he lasers it back on. Wait. Which, I mean, I guess makes sense that if you like heat up the material, it might stick together, but you definitely see like the smoldered line.
What is it made of then?
I don't know.
Because if it's like cotton,
yeah, I don't know.
So maybe it is like a
whatever.
I don't know, cloth.
Yeah, and then
sure.
Oh, and then Lois does get thrown out of the building by Lex. So, second damsel in distress moment. But for Lois, that's, you know, very little in this book. And then, of course, Superman saves her at the last moment, and he's like, hello. And she's like, oh my god, I'm so in love with you. And then Superman goes to Lex and is like, you are done, dude. Like, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. And Lex is like, wait, don't! I have something to show you. And he shows the last moments he spent with his parents. Like, using the black hole TV, whatever.
To distract him.
And friggin' Superman is like, oh, this is where he learns his name is Kal-El. Because his mom is like, goodbye, Cal. And he's like, Mom, Dad, like, my name is Cal. You know, and he learns his birthright at this moment. And then friggin' just He literally punches Lex in the head, which would probably kill him. But I guess he was pulling his punch.
Yeah, he's holding back.
And then
we're speaking dupe speak right there.
Yeah. So the last thing his parents say, when they ship him off, is, "We'll never know if it worked." And Superman defeats Lex, and he's looking at the TV screen, and I guess it has like the black hole or something is there, and Superman says, "I made it." So the last thing they hear, because of the space time travel, is, "Mom, Dad, I made it."
Yeah.
And then you see them like smile, and then smooch.
But they speak English?
Well, he says it in Kryptonian.
Oh, okay.
Like, he's super smart, so he learned Kryptonian really quick.
Learned it.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so he the last thing they hear is, "Mom, Dad, I made it."
Mm-hmm.
And then they smooch, and then they die.
Hmm.
And for me, that is awesome. I've never seen that in a Superman book. Having the last thing they hear is his Superman actually say "You did a good job sending me here. I couldn't save you, but I can save these people." And then Lex goes to jail, and then Clark and Lois make reference to maybe going on a date. And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Very I really, this might be my favorite Superman origin. They do a lot of Superman origins.
Mm-hmm.
You could look through it.
It's not so different.
It's not. It's what
they added more,
but they do add things really showing why the people of Metropolis care about him, or see him as a hero. Because if it was just Superman punches bald guy, there's not much heroics there.
Yeah.
But him defending the city and the citizens of Metropolis rallying with him, it's a very powerful book. It's a very just great, hopeful tale of Superman, because Superman is all about hope, and Mark Waid does a great job showcasing that.
Yeah.
And I do really love the art in it. Lionel Yu, I've seen him mostly do Marvel stuff, a lot of Wolverine, a lot of Avengers type books, and I never thought he'd be a good Superman artist, but I really like it. It gives the book cool. A unique, good feel.
Yeah, a lot of the effects and stuff look really cool, all the lightning and the explosions and
how the kryptonite's glowing.
Yeah, I was gonna say that the kryptonite looks very cool.
Mm-hmm. It's a very great book. Every time I read a Mark Waid book, I'm this is obviously gonna be good, but I wonder how he's gonna top the last book I read by him. And then he just always does it. I've never read a Mark Waid book I didn't enjoy, at least a little bit.
What else did he do?
Great question. No, he did this book Kingdom Come, which is a future tale for the DC characters. So in that, we'll talk about it eventually, because it is a beautiful book. But it's all the superheroes in the future, they're gone, they're old. So there's a new wave of superheroes who are reckless and destructive. So the old superheroes come back.
Is that because they're not good, or they're just new, or what?
They're both.
Okay.
Yeah. Because they have no morals. And then Superman shows up and is
Mr. Moral.
Mr. Morals.
Yeah.
Let me teach you something. Also, so what happens to Superman in that book is Lois Lane is killed. So he's I'm done.
That's it?
Yeah.
He just quits.
Well, Lois Lane is killed, and also all of Metropolis.
Oh.
And I think Kansas is destroyed.
Okay.
Because some villain goes
his
after
parents too, then.
Yeah, everyone in Superman's life is killed. So he's there's no hope here.
Just turn back time, stupid.
Yeah, he does that in the movie.
Does he?
He does in the first movie. Lois dies in an avalanche. And then Superman's "Ah!" And then he flies backwards.
Yeah,
and then
reversing the rotation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Classic.
I've never seen Superman do that in a comic ever.
Really? Oh,
never.
Okay. So that's something they made up.
Yeah.
Because it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense.
No. But I mean, Superman...
if he's as fast as the Flash, why doesn't he just turn back time by going real fast?
Yeah. Well, I mean, technically in that movie, Superman does disrupt the timeline by going backwards. But not to the same extent. He goes back 5 minutes, not 15, 20 years like the Flash does.
Mm-hmm. Is that because the Flash is faster than Superman?
He is faster than Superman. Like, Superman's super fast, but Flash is like so super fast he will.
Yeah,
he's like
it's
so...
like his only power, so he can focus on it.
Yeah. Superman has to like do all these different super things, but Flash is just really good at one thing. It's like, it's
Do you
like
think if Superman trained hard enough, he could be as fast as the Flash, or does he need that extra boost? That
I don't think Superman could be as fast as Flash, because Flash gets like his speed from the Speed Force.
Yeah,
and I don't know if Superman gets.
So if Superman got struck by lightning, could he potentially get the Flash powers?
Well, it has to be a combination of lightning and certain chemicals, so perhaps.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
I feel like in the Flashpoint cartoon, they just get him struck by lightning like twice, and he's Flash. They like bring him up
they
onto the
need
roof.
like chemicals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I wasn't paying attention.
Come on.
Yeah.
Pay attention. But yeah, Superman Birthright. It's, you know, they do like a new Superman origin like every 5 to 10 years. And there's a lot of great ones. Like, you can't really go wrong. You know, they always hire like good writers, good artists to tell usually kind of a generic superhero.
He's like origin. The most classic superhero.
He is.
Yeah.
So you need it to be like, you know, hopeful, more Mr. Morals.
Yeah.
You need to like learn a lesson or learn like what it means to be a hero.
Yeah.
And what it means to like live the double life, you know. And Clark does, you know. And since it's still like the start of his like career as both Superman and really like Clark Kent of Metropolis, you don't get like, you know, he's not an expert at it yet, but in the way the book ends, the people of Metropolis definitely look up to him as their hero. Yeah. Which is great.
I feel like Superman has even had like a big impact on the world, like everything, like
you mean like our real
everything.
Oh, definitely.
Like you hear
like you watch Seinfeld, and every other episode they mention Superman. Like,
but even like the word kryptonite is like a synonym for an antithesis of a character.
Yeah,
you know,
like Superman is probably the most recognizable superhero.
Sure.
And I know some people don't like Superman. They're like, he's boring.
He's perfect. Or but like he still struggles.
He still struggles. Like, the thing is, what really makes a superhero for me is the balance of superhero and identity. Like, I care about the Clark Kent story as much as I care about the Superman story. Like, I don't just care about powers and abilities and
like
fighting
you care about
villains.
Peter Parker and Spider-Man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes I care more about the Peter Parker stuff.
Sure.
Because that's the relatable stuff.
Yeah.
I could relate to being broke and like girls.
Yeah.
And like being sad.
Yeah. You can't as much relate to being a Spider-Man or a Superman.
Like, you can't relate to flying and shooting lasers, but you could maybe relate to being like a boy who was raised on a farm. Or just a boy who was raised with like good parents who like, but you could also relate to Lex Luthor maybe.
Yeah. Being
someone who didn't have that, you know, good childhood. I think that's like the perfect contrast that this book, you know, illustrates for both Superman and Lex Luthor.
Definitely.
I would love an animated movie of this.
There isn't?
Nope. Because they hate me. They're like, we'll make everything except what you're asking for right now.
To spite Vinny, specifically.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they will make an animated movie for something I love dearly, and they'll ruin it. Like, they have to put their little twist in there and change it up, and I hate it.
Like what? I feel like you like all the animated movies.
I like the old ones.
Oh,
like, the newer ones are like, I could take them or leave them. Like, they did a Batman Hush one. It was mostly good. And then there's a big reveal at the end, which I'm not going to get into because we'll probably talk about the story. And they do something that I had a feeling while watching it. I was like, if they do that, I might go insane. Like, I might lose my mind. And then they did it.
Oh, so that's what happened.
And I was like, like, why would you do that? And they did it like at least once a movie. There's something, and I'm like, I really hope this doesn't happen. And then it will happen. And I'm like, no. Or they'll like they did Long Halloween movie. Yeah. Batman The Long Halloween, which is like one of my favorite Batman stories. And then they split the movie into 2 parts. And I was like, that's cool, because it's a long story. Sure. It's going to be this epic story. They're going to just use the comic as the script. And they didn't. Like, they changed things. And it was just, I don't know.
Okay. I was gonna ask you what they changed, but we'll probably talk about.
We'll get into Long Halloween.
Yeah.
And Dark Victory, which is the sequel, and Haunted Night, which is the prequel, I guess.
Well, cool.
Yep.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Of Superman Afterbirth or whatever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing after the birth.
Birthright, but it's spelled with a W.
Yeah. Birthright.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's his name. Hello, I'm
Superman Birthright.
Yeah. It's his last name.
I really want to mention just like the classic look to the Superman I love the Superman costume.
Mm-hmm.
I think it is perfect. And I know a lot of people don't like the underwear he wears. I think it's iconic and needed.
I think it's cool.
I like they get rid of the underwear all the time. And when he doesn't have it, it's just all blue.
Yeah.
It looks weird. I like the red. It breaks up the color.
Yeah, it separates
and it has
his
the little
torso
belt
from his legs.
Yeah, it's just don't change it. But they will. They do.
They do.
All
they
the
will.
time.
They will again, probably.
We will never see this in a movie. This just classic costume, which I understand. Like, for me, Superman doesn't need rubber or body armor. He should just wear cloth.
Yeah, because he's
But that might look silly in a movie. I don't know. If you do it right.
Yeah.
Whatever. Movies suck.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.